So this is a review for Nutty News, released in 1942. It's the 367th in the series, and it's directed by Bob Clampett. Now, there's no official release for this short yet. Thankfully, a HD version of this short has leaked, and hey, you guys get to watch it later on because it's in the public domain, so I'll have that shown for you. I found the sound to be a bit average on it, so I'm not sure what happened there, but hey, it was a lot better than what I had a look at before. I think it was some person's private scan or whatever. But anyway, it's all here, and that's the important thing. Now, for consistency's sake, I'll just let you know what happens in the short anyway, and it's really not much. It's just another one of those Clampett Newsreel parodies that we have seen quite a few times. It's arguably the best one in my opinion, which is going to probably be a bit of a controversial opinion because for some reason a lot of people don't like this one that much. Don't know, but anyway, I'll definitely discuss that after the commentary portion. And speaking of which, you'll see a re-edit of the original commentary track first. The original track is still up using the older print, of course. And after that, you'll hear some new thoughts from me, and yeah, you get to watch the short for yourself and make up your own mind. So, without further ado, let's get into it. With me today to watch some nuts and some news, I'm my good friends Blue Genocide and Steph Stilley. Say hi, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Look how dark and the border to Canada is. It's like they knew that Canada wanted nothing to do with them.
It's very similar to Porky's Newsreel, where it's like a wartime spot gag short, except there's no Porky. We've got Elmer Fudd, and we don't even see Elmer Fudd. I think Arthur Q. Bryan might just be doing something else, and Clampett just said, "Oh, can you just record these lines for this short?" And that was that. I mean, that's all I can think of. Well, maybe Robert C. Bruce was unavailable. I don't know, but
I thought this was pretty funny.
Yeah. No, it's pretty solid. A lot of radio type references too, and this boy kind of actually looks like my son. To be honest, it's pretty uncanny.
Well, Joe Glow looked like you, or like the human character in Joe Glow looked like you, and that's basically just a younger design of that. So
it works. It works. I mean, I don't use Hitler to scare him or anything, so I can confirm that with you guys.
Hitler might as well be one of the Warner Brothers characters. He appears in like so many during this time.
Absolutely, and we got here a caricature of Henry Binder. I'm going to say Binder. It sounds natural to me. And I just love this stupid invention. It's just why? Like, this is so dumb. Oh dear, it's absolutely ridiculous. And we get another dad joke with a big build up here, of course. About how rabbits multiply, and we all
know what it's gonna be.
Of course,
I do really like the photorealistic rabbits, though.
Yeah, it's a nice touch, like out of a picture book, and because I actually hadn't seen this before. Before I watched it to do a bit of research on it, and
me neither.
But
I was honestly surprised. I was not thinking it was going to be this good because this was another favorite of mine. But I'll quickly try to say that I never heard of this one. I was kind of dreading it. I watched it. I was genuinely impressed.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. And Jerry Beck actually said to me he wasn't a fan of this one off memory, I think, when I interviewed him, so which is weird because I actually really like this one. I mean, what are your thoughts, Steph, so far with this wonderful thumb portrait?
Well, the animation of the silhouette is really well done. Very,
yeah.
I wonder if that was rotoscope.
Well, of course the animators were focused on that.
Naturally.
Of course. And here's a repeated animation from, I think, Chicken Jitters with the, father, like, just that waddle, when he was walking. I'm pretty sure it's from Chicken Jitters. And I think we'll see some stuff from Off Fox and Hounds towards the end as well, off memory. And we even see the Scottish Terrier from Porky's Pooch return. So how about that, I'm just wondering what the roads would have been like in the 20s and 30s. I mean, with all the street y'all turns, of course.
Yeah, this was before freeways started to be a common thing. So before that, I'm guessing there was just a bunch of road signs, and it got very complicated after a while.
This was a really funny gag to me too.
Big build up and just
the perfect delivery from the terrier too.
So that's that silhouette there, and I think that's from Of Fox and Hounds. But it's a very weird gag though, like the dog and the fox are like lovers or something. It's very weird.
Well, you spoiled it.
Oh, sorry.
No, I thought it was I really just like this one. I think it's great.
So it's like one of those little gems that you sort of discover as you go along. Yeah, like Buddy's Bearcats. Gems like that.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
a lot of these, the black and white cartoons from this period that don't have Daffy or Porky in them haven't been shown on TV very much. I think this one got showed on Nickelodeon back in like the 80s, but I don't know if Cartoon Network ever showed it, at least in America.
So I don't know, maybe Clampett just preferred working with Elmer, and as we finish up on a California joke, typical one as at that. So those were the original thoughts, and again, you can see the whole commentary up on the channel. I didn't have to take that one down, which is good. But rewatching this one, especially now that we've got a restoration for it, I noticed a few more things. It's not as much as usual. First of all, I definitely think this is Clampett's best newsreel one. I know, Jerry Beck told me he wasn't a fan of this one. He's probably his least favorite Clampett short. I've read reviews online that some people just didn't find it funny in that, but I don't know. I found this one a lot more funny than the other ones, even though I'd never hated the other ones. So I guess, yeah, tastes will definitely vary. And again, you can judge for yourself later on. Now, I love the beginning part with the title cards where we hear all sorts of crazy sound effects and we hear the whole woo-woo. Treg Brown clearly has gone to town with this particular intros. There we are. And yes, as we hear Elmer Fudd, which is a bit of a weird choice actually, having Elmer Fudd as the narrator for this one as opposed to, you'd expect Porky Pig at this point, but maybe Clampett's like, you know what? I had Arthur Q. Bryan probably for the Wacky Rabbit or something, and it's like, you know what, can you just do these few lines? I don't really want to have Porky again up to sick of Porky or something. I don't know, but whatever. It's an interesting choice, I will say, and some have even said, is this even just Elmer? Was it just Arthur Q. Bryan? But no, it's Arthur Q. Bryan putting on his Elmer voice, so to me it's Elmer, but you may beg to differ. After all, you can watch the cartoon and let me know in the comments. But as he's narrating the beginning, you then hear Deep in the Heart of Texas, and then you hear the clapping. Of course we do. It's like law. Especially if you watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure, when Pee-wee's just starts singing the song and everyone just stops and just starts clapping to it.
Do you realize you've just struck one of the toughest men from the state of Texas? Go ahead, tell him. Tell him, boy. Now, look here, neighbor. Oh. Now, wait a minute there, Nickel Feather. Penny Feather! You have again sullied the fair name of the great sovereign state of Texas. Order him off the premises. You heard what I told you before. Oh.
So we start off with the moose horn bit, and I just love that whole moose horn backfiring, and the moose just happens to have his own horn. Just great. And the moose just starts acting like Tarzan for some reason. I don't know. I just got a kick out of that. It's just so stupid. I absolutely love it. Now, next up, we get a joke that would have been usually cut for television because, well, it's be quite dated, of course, after the 40s. But yeah, we get the whole Hitler joke right here. Yeah, it's topical. America's in the war at this point, so you can't really blame them. And it's an effective joke, a boogeyman to scare the kids, except this boogeyman was actually real. Now, I do like the Harry Binder joke, and Harry Binder, of course, was on staff at the studio at the time, and his face was definitely ripe for caricature. And I just like how, yep, I'm smart, no one's going to steal my hat, and somebody steals his pants. It's fantastic. Absolutely love that. But I do have to wonder, why did they do the whole rabbit sequence on the cheap? Was Clampett running behind because of Horden hatches the egg? It could be. I said in that track that Clampett definitely puts a lot of effort into it, so maybe he ran behind on that one, and in this one, that's why a lot of things look a little bit more on the cheaper side, the quicker side. So, Anyway, that info's probably lost to time, but the evidence definitely stacks up. And not to mention that the studio was going in transition period anyway, with Avery leaving, and then soon Norm McCabe will get drafted to the army, cutting his time short as a director. Yeah. And we get another World War II gag, hey Fireflies, where are your lights? And of course having a blackout, which was a common thing to avoid enemy fire during that time. Then we get a Tex Avery style gag, and there's always a possibility that some of these spot gags in this short and in Clampett's next one, which is his last newsreel short, may have indeed been planned by Avery. He obviously left for MGM. But that gag involving the beautiful woman that we never see, and we just see the silhouette, fantastic. You know it was coming. You know it was going to be something stupid painted, but it's still great. It's ridiculous. Thumbs up. Now, one thing I did miss is that there was a mention of a player called Carl Bubble, and that's a takeoff of a real-life baseball player, Carl Hubble, who, according to this short, can't pitch at all. Anyway, it's what it is, right? And then the dog says, $1 just doesn't go far these days, which, hey, what else is new, right? Watching this short now, it's like, yeah, and nothing really changed, has it? But that's clearly a reference to the inflation at the time, and of course, yeah, the war going on now, so yeah, that would have been topical. Now, one bit here, and I'm putting this up for debate, because some people have said that the contractor and the owner is Cal Dalton and Ken Harris, right, the animators, but it then begs the question, why then is there that picket line? And I would actually argue that the caricatures is actually of Leon Schlesinger and really exaggerated Walt Disney, looking really, really, really grotesque there. Because at this point in time, you had the Disney strike. And by the way, if you haven't read the book about the Disney strikes, definitely read that. And I have a link below to that book. It is fantastic. And I've even done an interview with the author too for this channel. My guess is that this is Schlesinger and Disney. They have an agreement to build something, and then straight away there's an actual picket line. That's what I think. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think this is Cal Dalton and Ken Harris? Or do you think it's Schlesinger and Disney? Again, I think it's the latter because of the strike gag, which would have made complete sense. Given the involvement of the Schlesinger Studios, which again is covered in the book, you know, it definitely adds to the evidence of this gag, but you be the judge. And then, of course, we end with the wonderful California joke, how California is always sunny, which, compared to the rest of the gags, is probably not as good. Look, this short is no masterpiece, all right? I would say none of the newsreel shorts really are the best in Clampett's filmography, but out of all of them, this one is definitely the funniest, at least in my opinion. For whatever reason, I just connected with the gags better, and even my colleagues in the commentary seem to agree with that. So look, this one gets about a 7 out of 10 for me. It's nothing special, but I thought it was funny. But again, you be the judge. So that'll do it for this review. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you the latest news from Maine to California, from our Canadian border to way down deep in the heart of Texas. Hunting season opens in the Rocky Mountains. Here is the champion moose hunter twacking down his prey. To lure the moose to him, the hunter uses a moose call. He reaches around for it, he puts it to his lips, he blows. Here I am. You. Barbers have always had trouble with little boys who won't sit still to get their hair clipped. what's the matter for you? But now there was a new invention, which its inventor hopes will solve this problem. All done. Next, please. People who eat in West once are always afraid of having their hats and coats stolen while they are eating. Here is a man who has figured out a new gadget that will allow him to eat his dinner and keep his eye on his hat at the same time. A portable rear view mirror. And so, after a hearty meal... I'm too smart for him, ain't I? We are very fortunate to have the privilege of peeking in on a scientific laboratory where they are experimenting to find the secrets of life. And now, before your very eyes, you will see how rabbits multiply.
2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5 is 10, 2 times 6 is 12, 2 times 7 is 14, 2 times 8 is...
In many eastern states, the summer night is brightened by twinkling lights of thousands of little fireflies. Here we see them with their lights all lit up. Hey, fireflies, where are your lights?
Quiet! We're having a blackout. See?
And now we take you into the studio of the famous artist, Frank Putty, the creator of the popular Putty Girls. He is seen making a painting of a real, live artist model. One of the secrets of his success is the great pains that he uses to get the proportions just right. Oh, Mr. Putty, we would sure like to see your latest painting.
Well, all right.
As we all know, ducks love to swim in the water from the day that they are born. This proud papa duck is taking his newborn little ducklings down to the pond for their first dip.
You shouldn't have jumped in that water. You're a chicken. Chickens can't swim.
Now he tells me.
Because of increased auto traffic, new safety signs are being put up all over the country. In the north, and across the Mason-Dixon line in the south. One of the best-known stories about George Washington is the one of his throwing a silver dollar across the Potomac River. The famous baseball pitcher, Carl Bubble, is now standing on the historic spot and is going to prove that practically anyone can throw a dollar across this river. Are you ready, Mr. Bubble?
Well, a dollar just doesn't go as far these days, does it, folks?
You're right. Here we see the start of the first fox hunt of the new season. The lead dog is let out first to pick up the scent and direct the others to the location of the little red fox. And there they go. Hey, what's the trouble? Those dogs seem confused. I wonder where that lead dog went to.
Give me a kiss, or I'll tell them where you are.
Here are the plans for a great big new department store to be built on this very lot. Here is the owner and the contractor. The plans are approved. They shake hands. And the building of the store will start immediately. Our mighty Navy keeps up its constant patrol of the seas through all kinds of weather. And here's the USS Connecticut. And here comes the USS Mississippi. And now the USS California.